This is exactly what an inspection report looks like. These are the pictures that would come back from a pre-drywall inspection report.
The trim wasn't finished right here. You can see it's halfway, right? Why isn't it finished?
Workmanship or materials in seller's opinion. This is pulled straight from a contract here, people. Everything looks good, but this moisture keeps pulling up here. All right. Welcome back to more FLA Homes. If you're new to the channel, my name's Christian Clay. Alongside me is the Wesley Chapel King himself. Corey, how are you, brother?
What's going on, my man? How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Can I read you something that came in about a month ago? Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody reached out to us in the inbox, right? And they said, what exactly do you guys do in the process of us buying a home if we decide to do it with your assistance, right? And the conversation led into, like, besides you helping us negotiate the deal, what? And I feel like it's the same response that we try to give to people, right? Like, we try to walk them through what do we do? And we always say the job starts after the contract, not so much before.
Right.
We do so much before, it's after the contract. So today we're gonna try to show you the freaking process. Are we? Take them home, Corey.
Hey, man, I'm excited for this one. This is where, like you said, we really get to work on these homes. And there's just a lot that goes into a home purchase, not just with, like you said, the contract negotiation, but the building. Honestly, to keep it real, there's just a level of human error that can happen with building a home. There's many moving parts. When you're purchasing, you're dealing with sales reps, loan officers, you got construction managers, they're hiring tons of vendors. There's people in purchasing. There could be delays. There could be a missed email, a missed number somewhere. There's just a certain level of human error that could happen in the process, and you just have to know how to manage it. Yeah. And it is a full-time job. It's what we do full-time. So if you want to take on a full-time job trying to buy this home while you're doing your job and having to, take your kids to practice and cook and help Nana and everything else, and you're in another state, good luck. But that's why you have us, your professional licensed realtors that know this new construction process. I don't know many teams that know new construction as well as us.
I was saying that earlier today, right? Because we did a video and we had a client that came there. We were working with 2 other agents before we found your videos and started working with you guys. The other 2, they just simply didn't know the process, and that's understandable, right? I think that a lot more agents are getting into the new construction scene, and they're kind of learning as they're going. Like, we bring the experience, right? So, like, having all of that up front ready for you to go. We're not learning on the job. We are, but, like, it's not like learning from day one on the job.
And you said it's the experience. We're doing these walks and flying these drones, and we're in these communities selling every single day, our team. We really are. So what you're seeing in these videos, a lot of it is just from past clients where we were doing footage, walks we've done for them. We are hitting boots on the ground, getting out to these communities, showing you the homes, getting you under contract. But when the real work starts, how is your home coming along, especially when you're not in town and able to monitor it? Are they giving you the level of service that they provided when you walked in the front door and said, hey, this is exactly how your home's going to look? Many stages to the home building process, and it starts right here with this beautiful $500,000 piece of dirt you probably just bought. So welcome to Florida. That's your beautiful home you bought right there. But you see, it starts with just the rough framing of being able to lay the slab. Then they're going to come in and lay the underground plumbing and the electrical, lay the slab right on top. This is just the very, very early stages of the home. Nothing we can really do in these stages, right? The builder's kind of taking care of the process, letting you know what stage you're in. Like I said, if you're doing it alone, try getting a photo from one of these construction managers and see how your property's going. That's going to be you'll be waiting a long time for that photo. You might get a thumb on top of the camera lens or something.
Exactly.
Like
the builders say that, right? We'll give you updates as you go along, and they're just the worst. And we're going to show you throughout the video, or even closer towards the end, what a personalized video looks like, because we say it all the time, right? And I think more people are going to be like, there's so much value in this, but all yours.
There is, yes. But look, we're getting into the block stage of the home now. You can see the rough-ins for the plumbing. This is where your sink's going to be. Kind of funny to see a home in block because it's all just one big area. You're like, this looks so tiny.
I know.
Funny-looking home. All of this looks rough until we get to the finished ends here. But you're going to see on the screen, we're taking you through these building stages, putting on the roof, getting into framing. And we do have a window of opportunity to get these inspections. So it doesn't matter if you're building a home and it's going to be in 8 to 12 months completed, or you find one that's move-in ready. One of the first things we're going to do when you go under contract, we get you with the inspectors, We're going to get you to the construction manager. They're going to get in contact and they're going to start scheduling these inspections. They're going to be up to date. Now you're kind of hands free. They have them in communication to get this stuff scheduled and get everything in the right time. So once our inspector gets the go ahead to get in here for these pre-drywall inspections, that's going to come in right about this time frame. We are just looking at a framed home. Now we're going to get some electrical, the HVAC, and the plumbing going in, kind of the rough ends of the home. And this is when our inspector is going to be allowed to come in to do that pre-drywall.
I'm going to show them
Pre-drywall walk
what this looks like
is
here.
go right ahead. This walk is going to be presented to you from the builder as, hey, you can come check out your home and see what's behind the walls. But it's also an opportunity to get your inspector in there to make sure that they've done everything correctly. And a lot of times on these walks, we will find a few things that they do need to fix.
Two things that I want people to really focus on, and this is exactly what an inspection report looks like. These are the pictures that would come back from a pre-drywall inspection report. Two things. Mm-hmm. Yes, it is important to understand where your valves are going to be and where your outlets and that is really what the builder is trying to do with these pre-drywall walks. They're not trying to do this, right? They don't want you to come in with a professional saying, hey, do this, do that, do that. No, they want you to say, this is where your outlets are going to go. This is where we pre-wired for your fan over here. And there is some importance to that because I've seen before where they F that up and it's like, no, we're supposed to have a Cat 6 over here. We're supposed to have this pre-wired. We paid for these things. Get them done. To the contrary, we got an inspection report like this and they're saying, hey, you need to fill these gaps. This 2x4 doesn't seem to be safe enough, right? Like, so there's a lot of the structural and, the smaller things that are behind the walls that are also important.
Oh, you hit the nail on the head there. So the builders will, there's a standard that they'll build these homes to. They do get county inspections, but our inspectors are really going to make sure that they're doing it all the way to the standard that you want. It is your opportunity to make sure that you can look behind the wall, and we recommend it if you can. We buy a lot of these homes that are quick move-ins, right, our clients, so they don't have the opportunity to get behind the walls and look. But if you're building and you can get a pre-drywall inspection, highly recommended. I know one of our last videos we talked about our client that the inspector noticed the HVAC duct wasn't ran into the laundry room. So the construction manager come back and run another. He thought it was okay. He said there was a pass through. Inspector said no because of the dryer. It needs to have its own airflow. So they had that. Luckily, they're able to just go up, add another duct, bring it down, no problem. Unless we had that walk, I don't think anybody would have noticed that was going to be an issue with the home. And like we said, it's the level of human error. There's just a lot of people building these homes. And to be completely honest, we work with a couple builders. They own multiple companies, a luxury and an entry level. So they're building $1 million homes and $300,000 homes in the same communities. That company most likely uses the same slab company, the same framing company. So I think it's a misconception that if you're buying $1 million home, you're getting more high quality material or construction process. But a lot of times it's the same company. And if it's the same company, then you might even have the same person laying the slab for the 300,000. So just to think that you got to really manage these companies because there's a lot that goes into it and they do them fast. And if you're not saying, hey, stop, can we get this fixed or what is the solution for it? They're going to blow right by it and keep building your house.
Yep. And that's definitely their job, just to continue to stamp those things out. So those are the two important things, right? Have that third party person come in or have the opportunity. I must say that, right? At the end of the day, it's your choice if you want the home inspector to come in or not. But it's our job to say, hey, Mrs. or Mr. client of ours, this is the opportunity to do it because the window is closing. They're closing in on us and they want us to go to this walk. Do you want to get that inspection done? Here goes a few of them that we like to use. What's your decision? And then once you make that decision, we're better equipped at that walk. We're better equipped.
That's really how it works. And there's different levels of inspection. Like we said, if you're past the drywall stage, we can't do this walk. You can still get a final inspection done with our inspector where you can do whatever you like. You can do a 4-point, you can do a full inspection. You can add on a sewage inspection, which they'll check your drains and lines going all the way out to the street to make sure that the builder hasn't dropped any debris in those pipelines, which we unfortunately have seen before. And you don't find out until you move in and the plumber comes over and says, we had a bunch of screws in your drain and you moved in 3 days ago. So it wasn't you or your kid. Yep. So it's important to make sure that we're checking these things. And like you said, give you the opportunity and get you to the right people. that are going to take care of you, give you every option to make sure that you're comfortable, and will give you that ease of mind. It's going to save you a lot of time. And honestly, in the future, it could save you a lot of money too by taking care of this inspection right now instead of running into the problems after you're in the home.
Question for you, right? Just
Yeah.
let me give you a limited amount of resources and see if you can make
Mm-hmm.
whatever decision you want to, right? You only get one inspection done. Would you rather take advantage of the home inspection towards the end or the pre-drywall inspection? You only get one.
That's tough. That's tough. I would probably say the home inspection at the end,
Yep, same.
because that's when you're going to have the home's going to be the furthest along. Like right now, how are we going to check a fridge? How are we going to check,
The reason why I
electrical?
say is because you're filtered by the county inspections up to this point. They're not perfect.
Yes.
They're not perfect, but you got
Oh,
those
we'll get into
county
that too.
inspections, right?
Yeah.
That are they
Yeah,
are at
yeah.
least give you a little bit of buffer, like they're passing code at least, right? But then after that, it's the builder versus you towards the end. So yes, to answer your question,
Correct.
if you're somebody that's limited with funds and resources, take advantage of the home inspection towards the end. Go to this pre-drywall walk. We're actually going to show you, if you can't make it, how we're there for you. But if you're
Yes.
limited on funds, yes, that's the better route to go, in my opinion.
No, I agree with you. And like you said, if there's opportunity to do it behind the walls, I'd say take advantage of that.
Yep.
All we're doing here is mitigating the risk of having issues in this home. There, like you said, a lot of moving parts, a lot of errors. Something could happen behind the walls. Things you're seeing on the screen, just having like the foam to go ahead and seal all those lines in.
Mm-hmm.
Our inspector noted a few of those and said, "Hey, these need to be. They're not completely sealed. The builder will leave it like that. If you don't see, if you walk in, and you see the foam, it's not completely sealed. You're like, oh, it's there. They're not going to fix that for you. They're not going to be like, they're not going to go do it. It's up to
Right.
code. They pass county. They're moving forward. But let's go ahead and say, let's, like you said, mitigate as much error as possible so
Yes.
that when you get into this home, you're not running into issues later, which are just going to cost you more money long term.
So what do we have next? So after the pre-drywall, right? Oh, here we go. So we went drywall
Yeah.
now. This is when the
Yeah,
home really
yeah.
starts
So
to come together. You can't see through it
yeah,
anymore.
yeah. So we got some insulation in. Now we're going into drywall. You can see they just come in, screw all those right up to the studs. Then they're going to go ahead and plaster them together, get the paint on there. The home's going into stucco on the outside, so they're starting to do all the concrete around the bottom of the home.
Can
Another
I
thing
point
ours,
something out? This right here,
yeah.
people,
Oh yeah.
is
Oh yeah.
why
So let's,
this right here is why you get the pre-drywall inspection. This is why you go to the pre-drywall walk, et cetera, et cetera,
Yeah, yeah.
et cetera. You don't want to rip drywall out to fix something. Get it done first. Get it done first.
I knew you were going to say something when we flew by there. Like you didn't see that.
It
hole
looked
in
like
wall.
freaking the
This
Hulk
is
punched that thing.
That's exactly what it is. But look, we're like you said, there's just these. The good thing is you're getting a new home. New construction homes. If you're watching our channel, we think it's the way to go in Florida, because there's with these inspections, they don't have to fix anything. That's always really up to the seller's discretion, especially in a resale. It's like we can give an inspection report and say, hey, fix these things. They can say no, and then you can part ways. And as you can see right here, this is
I want to read a
of
part
contract.
of a builder's contract. So if any item listed by the buyer on the new home orientation list during the inspection is actually defective in workmanship or materials, in seller's opinion, that means you can show them and say, this isn't fixed, this isn't corrected. And they can say, in my opinion, it is. Now, we have ways as a team to negotiate through that, to put pressure on them, etc. But at the very end of the day, it's up to their freaking opinion. Like you said, it's up to their opinion. This is pulled straight from a contract here, people. Straight from a contract.
That's it. And that's another important part is understanding that contract. So the sales rep will have you sit down in an office, sign that contract, get us the deposit. We got to get it off the market. And you have no idea about the verbiage in there, what it means for these future inspections. But it is very important to understand that it's up to the seller's discretion what they're going to fix. But listen, in our experience, we've worked with a lot of good builders, a lot of good construction managers that are willing to do these things. They get in there themselves and fix it, because a lot of times these are vendors that are doing all of the work. So when they see some stuff like they can seal it or they can paint it, they're right in there getting it fixed, or they're calling the companies to come get it fixed before closing because they don't want to delay closing. Something you might not know is that these builders are incentivized by getting high scores from the buyer when they close the home. About 30 days later, you're going to get a little review on how was your sales rep, how was your construction manager, how was your lender. You score them. That score affects that construction manager's bonuses that he's going to get that year. So he's incentivized to get these things done to make you happy, to close the home on time as well, which don't put any delays to the builder at their cost. So we're going to make sure that they understand that, hey, to get this done, to make us happy, and at the end of the day, you're going to have to sign off on, is the home up to standard before you close? You don't have to sign so we get it fixed.
Yep. 100%. By the way, look, Corey joined the team a few years back. Corey came from new construction. Look, we have a rock star team. I think we have a rock star roster, but everybody brings something different to the table.
Yeah.
We have people on the squad that were living new construction, being in the meetings, giving us insight on like what's really happening. So that's how we bring some of this experience to you guys.
It's like getting traded from the Celtics to the Lakers. Like, hey man, I'm sorry, I'm on the rival now, but
now I know all their signals.
I know your place. I know your plays, bro. Yep.
So I want to rewind this back just a tad, right? Just to show them what it would look like going from, almost completed to completed.
Yes, we're getting closer to the home being finished here. This one's going to be fully up in drywall. Floors are in. We don't have any cabinets or counters. That's next. And then from there, you're usually like 60 days to closing. Everything after that goes pretty quickly.
Yeah,
very fast. Yep. So then in the 60-day window, that's where the inspector's going to get in to do a final walk, usually about 20 days to 10 days before closing. Yep. But he'll come in, make sure everything looks good. But I think the best part about this is that we're looking at like this process 60 days later, looks rough, looks boring, and then boom, this is what it looks like when you get into the home a couple weeks later. So
it happens so fast.
Product.
It's almost like a baby, right? It's like it happens so freaking fast. All the time with the amount of people that we've helped, watching it go from like when the cabinets and the counters go in to when it's ready to close. It's like, whoa, that just happened so fast.
But what you're paying for in this product is what you're seeing on the screen. It's the finishes of the home. What went behind the wall and what went into the concrete, those were pretty much the same companies and the same materials. So it's not like you bought $1 million home and bought nicer 2x4s or anything.
Yeah, I think that's also a testament. That's a testament to the level 1 homes as well, right? Those value builders.
It's great. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And I try to say that because a lot of people think that, hey, I'm getting a value home, I'm getting a level 1 home. Like, could it fall apart? Like, I'm not going to say yes, no to that, like, because I'm pretty sure there's stories out there for all sorts of things. But like you said, a few of these builders actually, they build level 1 homes and level 3 homes, right? And I'm pretty sure they're pouring the same type of slab, the same types of studs, but it's the finishes inside of the home that really make and the lots and et cetera, where it's located.
Of course. But yes, but the rough stuff behind the wall, it's like that's what we really want to make sure is good if we can. And like you said, we're not licensed contractors, but we can get out there and just look for you, walk with the construction manager. There's oftentimes we meet with the construction manager to ask if we can walk, say, hey, maybe we noticed something. Can we go walk the lot, look at it, talk about it, see what resolution we can get to. And
let's show them what an inspection report would look like. Let's we showed them the pre-drywall, like what you would see right now. This is what a home inspection would typically look like. This is bits and pieces of it, obviously, right? But you're going to get your roof checked, you're going to get your shingles checked. Now, what are we noticing with builders nowadays? They are getting very, very crafty on us seeing the roof. I understand they don't want people walking on the roof, because why would you want somebody to damage the shingles before they get the home and then they blame us for it, etc. But then we start to fly the drones over the roofs and they're giving us issues for that. There's builders that are like, you can no longer fly drones over the roof. Now, the reason they're saying that is because we don't want the drone to land on the roof. Okay, I understand that. But really, they're trying to get away from the inspections, bro. They're trying to get away from the inspections. Hey. They have no incentive for us to give them this report here and say, fix these items. Right. None.
And if you bypass your opportunity, they will not be hesitant to tell you, hey, you missed your chance. Sorry. Something like this, a small little gap is something our inspector noticed. I might have not noticed it. You might have not, just a little bit of light coming through. Yep. He'll make sure he checks those things. Fix the weather strip. Done. Easy. Concrete poured on the driveway. He said that could be an issue with water intrusion in there. So we asked on our walk, can you grind that down? We'll get the company out here. We'll get it cleaned up for you.
Hey, this usually is a secret to epoxy people. This is how we usually get our epoxy. You start picking at that concrete a little bit, and we're getting close to closing. It's like, hey, why don't you just epoxy that for us?
Where's Josh? Another thing is that we saw an inspection report recently. I think you're going to see in the video here that a stonework wasn't finished on the home. I asked construction manager, hey, the trim doesn't go around. Can we get that finished? He said, nope, that's the way it is.
Yep.
We looked at the other houses across the street neighborhood. No other house looked like that. So we found the same floor plan down the street, and we went and looked at it. Turns out that they extended the stone further than they were supposed to. So the trim people did it to where they were supposed to, and it ended short. It looked unfinished. You walk to the front door, the stone's unfinished. Not even like it was painted. It's like concrete finished around the stone up to your waist. So he said, no, we called the assistant manager, came over, called the stucco company. Yeah, we can get that trim fixed for you guys. We found a solution, but we got to know immediately.
100%.
But you got to kind of dig sometimes. Sometimes you got to talk through it. We got to go walk around and look at his own product for me to get him to understand that, like, this is not right.
Sometimes, hey, there's been times where we've shown builders another builder's product and said, you are lying. Yeah. Look at this right here, right?
Happen.
We went to a walk this morning and they said differently, right? So, that's where I think the experience does help. The experience does help.
Absolutely.
Here's a big one right here. Your irrigation system, right? They look for a lot of you may not know or care. You may just be like, okay, cool. It comes with irrigation in the front or the side yard. Like, if there is an issue with that, it's expensive. Irrigation is expensive.
And I've seen people get hit with water bills. When I worked with the builder, they'd run down to my model home when I was a sales rep. I got a $600 water bill on my first month here. What? The irrigation was messed up or broken, and therefore it continued to leak, and their water bill went crazy. So having an inspector check your sprinklers, super important, because once you get hit with that water bill, do not expect the builder to do anything about it. They will not even bat an eye.
Talk to us about this right here, because we say when somebody's buying a spec or a move-in or an inventory home, right, like we can't see behind the walls. Well, we have this little mechanism, or the inspectors that we use have this little mechanism, so we can see important things if they're happening behind the walls.
Yeah, he's got a few of these tools right here, right? So this one's going to be checking the temperature from the AC to make sure it's cooling properly as to the thermostat. It should be exactly the temperature in the thermostat, not warmer or colder. It's looking good. He can use that also to check for the water temperature. He puts it right on the water. It's like 97 degrees. That's where it should be. Perfect. But he has one he put behind the drywall, up to the drywall, and it measures moisture behind the drywall. So you can go into, let's say, a bedroom closet where there's a toilet on the other side, put it up to the wall, check around that perimeter, and see if there's any moisture, which he has detected before.
That's what I'm saying.
We had to have the plumber come out, rip out the drywall.
Was it with you that we found some
paint texture? Yeah. It was in Lake Alfred. It was one of our guys. It was with this technology, and I was like, that's amazing, because I hadn't seen it before. But after we showed it to the CM, he called the plumbers out, and he was absolutely right.
I remember that one.
There was a leak.
We see it in resale. Huge problem
when you close. Mm-hmm.
We see it in resale, but to see it in new construction, you may not think that. You may say, hey, I went through orientation, everything's good, but this could be happening behind the wall, right? And I remember that one. It was in the closet, and the bathroom was on the other side, and it's like, yeah, everything looks good, but this moisture keeps pulling up here. So they had to pull it out, get it fixed, get it corrected, and then, repatch it, drywall.
And this is in between our first walk and final walk, and that's usually a 7-day period.
Yep.
So in that week, they're able to they can get someone there the same day, the next day. A lot of times, these vendors are already in the community on another home. So they're like, hey, painters, when you're done, stop by 104. Let's get this touched up. Here's a big one that I thought was awesome, is that on our inspection report, the AC wasn't level outside, very slightly. Now, if we're walking that home, Christian, are we going to notice if that AC is off by like a 2-degree angle?
Me? Oh, me, yes. No, I'm joking. No. I wouldn't. But like, who would even think to put a leveler on the AC unit, right? Like, it's just like these are the little things that the inspectors do, where it's just like, what are you doing? Oh, okay, I get it.
And this passed county inspection. So this was at a week from closing, where they were like, this is good to go. Our inspector clearly states on this that it could cause accelerated deterioration of the components by not being level. So yes, we did have that fixed. Now, if you scroll down a little bit from this, you can see that the AC had a couple damaged coils, a brand new AC. So clearly we didn't buy the house, we didn't do it yet. This can happen if you slightly touch it, or if it rubs against something and in delivery or in the warehouse, but he does state on there that this could do, it could, let's say, it limiting the efficiency of the unit by having those bent coils. So that's our opportunity to say, hey, this is not a functioning system of the house that needs to be replaced. And now the construction manager is in his position of he's incentivized to make you happy and fix this home correctly. So he's going to work to get that new AC if that's what you need. You know,
Man,
like
flashing and roofing,
happen.
like these things are important to me. A lot of everything is important, but
Mm-hmm.
flashing and roofing, anything that has to do with water and sealing water is like, to me, is like, get that stuff done. You're going to see now we've plucked a few things off of the inspection report. There's going to be a lot of little things where it's just like, we're going to walk through, we're going to see that, we're going to get that corrected. But the things that I'm going to put my boxing gloves on for you about are these big things, right? That's, to me, super important.
Yes, your roof, your HVAC, your sprinkler systems, your electrical, anything that's, you know, major issues, we can walk through with you on the blue tape walk. We like to do it. I don't know how many realtors are going to these blue tape walks all the time. You know, we're making it there. We're there at the final walk. We got inspections. This is how we do this, guys. This is what we do for our clients. If your realtor's not doing this, you may have called the wrong one. But we're going to these walks. We're doing the videos for you. If you're out of state, which most of our clients are relocating, right? We can come to the home, do the construction walk for you, give you updates. I'll take my gimbal out here, show you the home, and now we can even use Meta with our glasses. Here's me wearing the Meta sunglasses where I can show you your new construction walk. You can be there at your first walk if you can't make it in town. I can talk to you, explain to you. You can talk to the construction manager, ask questions. It's
this was the thing you were telling us about.
Yeah, this is a whole new experience. And oh yeah, exactly, right there. That the trim wasn't finished right here. You can see it's halfway, right? Why isn't it finished?
Yep.
Because that stone was supposed to stop right there. They did too much stone. Yeah. So here's the solution. They weren't going to take the stone off. They got to finish the trim now.
There you go.
But it just didn't look even, and it was a major issue for the buyer. She was very, very happy because that was one of those things that's like, hey, everyone's got their pet peeve.
Yeah, let's say this is a $400,000 home. If you bought a $300,000 or $400,000 car, I know it's more than that. I'm undershooting. If you bought a car of that, like you would be like, no, it needs to be perfect. It needs to be perfect. And these builders don't really view a lot of it like that. They're just like, hey, it's not finished. We'll get somebody out there. No, perfect. Get it perfect.
Don't worry. We got your back. We're going to make sure that they're going to get these things done for you. But like we said, even just bringing the presentation to you quicker. It's all about speed in our market. We always say we're going to save you time. We're going to save you speed. Here's me being able to go to an open house to show someone live that there's already people interested in the home.
Show them what you're going to save them, bro. Show them what you're going to save them.
Show them what you're
going to save them. No, show them the prop. Buddy. Show them the prop. Let's go. Let's go.
We're going to save you some money, bro. If you want to put a few of these back in your pocket, just, you already know.
Listen, I know we mention it a lot about how much money we've saved people, right? Like this much in incentives, this much. But at the end of the day, besides the negotiating factor of things, the process that we do here by giving you these tours while you can be wherever you're at, boots on the ground, that also saves you a lot of money. And I think I'm more proud about the systems that we have behind the scenes, like this whole process. It started with the message that I got, like, what do you guys do for me? This right here is what I'm most proud about because I know we can negotiate. I know we can find you the right deal. Like that's cool. But this right here is what I'm most proud about. Check this out. My boy has his glasses on and he's taking a client through a new home orientation. This is what it looks like. And the clients aren't even there.
They can watch live. They can be there live and just be my eyes. Ask me to look around, talk to the construction manager, ask questions. We can have these videos recorded and saved for you. So after you purchase the home, you can go back and view what the construction manager said about how to operate your sprinkler system, how to maintain the HVAC, how to change your door code. Here's how when you move in. Oh, it's a long process how to do all this, but the code's right here. You can go back, pause, record, rewind. It's going to be saved there for you in the future. If you need to run out, where's the water main shutoff? It's on the right side of your house. Here's how you turn it. Here's how you open it. So these are valuable things that you're going to take after you move into the home. And just put it in a little file in your email, and you can always go back and know that we helped you get when you have to put up your storm shutters, you're going to buy a house, and then that day's going to come, you're going to be like, how the heck do I get these up there, right?
Right.
You can go back, watch your video. I got you. It's already taken care of.
This one's important here.
This one's
important. taking care of your HVAC system. Every summer, you got to take care of that, because if it clogs up, your AC will stop in Florida. But I will say this. This is actually a good look at what a new home orientation would look like. We poop on them all the time, but it's not always bad, because these are little things that you have to do to maintain your home. But all we're saying is, I know you're going to go to the new home orientation, but my job is to find the other stuff for you. Like, I'm going to do the dirty stuff for you and the stuff behind the scenes. You go and you learn how to change your keys. Like, do that, and then we're going to have somebody come in and take care of the dirty stuff.
That's well said. We want you to go to this walk. If you can't make it, we'll be there and do this for you. If you can make it, we want you to focus on how beautiful your home is, learn the mechanics, learn how it operates, and how you're going to be able to upkeep it so you don't have issues in the future, while we record the videos for you. We look for the defects. We ask the questions that if you don't ask, you're not going to get the information. And that way you can just, focus on what's important. That's operating your house. Yep. You don't have to be looking for paint chips everywhere while you're trying to listen to the construction manager, and you're already excited because you're in your new home. This is how we operate to make sure that we're not bypassing on things during these walks that they'll skip right by if you're not going to say anything about, something that you see, or maybe you didn't see. So
how many of these walks do you think this guy has a day?
I mean, and we're doing them. Oh, you mean this guy?
I'm talking about this guy right here. I'm talking about the guy that's
5, 6.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
We've been in walks before where they've been like, "Hey, I got 30 minutes. I got to be out of here." And I was like, "Well, I have way more time than that, and we're not done until we're finished. So let's go ahead and just get to work." But they will rush you through the process, and these are all just worst case scenarios, things that we've encountered. We do have some really good experiences with these builders. We have really good construction managers, people that are super happy with the home that's delivered to them. They have good inspections, but you don't want to be the one left on the island when you don't get taken care of by a realtor and an inspector. You don't want to go try to do this yourself and take a piece of the recipe from watching YouTube and think, hey, we can replicate this in our own life. It's its own job. Me and Christian do this 24/7 as a career, So it's like, don't take on our job with everything else you have going on in your life. Let us handle this while you can relax. We want to make the home buying process enjoyable. We want you to enjoy the homes, love looking at them. Half the time we're out here, we're just having a great time with our clients, laughing and chopping it up all day, So it's an enjoyable process. But when it gets down to, negotiating, making sure that we're holding the builder accountable in construction, we are on top of everything.
Yeah, I mean, in all of these scenarios, whether it was the inspection reports, whether it was some of the new construction walks, the final walks, the builder or the seller has paid our fees. So if your agent is not doing this, which I know your sales rep's not going to do this, but if your agent's not doing this, like, shame on them. Like, this is, and to answer the question in the beginning, this is what we do. This is what we do. So the next time we get that question, because we get it all the time, like, well, what are you going to do for me? I already know which home I want. I'm just going to send this video and say, if this isn't enough, then I don't know. But good luck with the process, because it's a long one. It is a long one.
That's absolutely right, man. We don't want you guys to be, like we said, out on your own trying to navigate this process alone. You need some experience. You need some expertise, even little things like you're seeing on the screen. If you're looking online at a lot and you see it's on a pond, oh, it's nice. But what is the elevation of that pond? Is it 2 feet from your back patio, or is it 15 feet down? We can get out there and show you. How does this look for you? It looks like it's about 14 feet. It's 15 feet off the back of your lot. Like, that is just experience. That is just visuals that we can bring to you anywhere you are.
The best way to reach us, which we don't have it flashing today above the screen, but I'll get it on there somehow, some way. Email us, team@morefla.com. That's the best way to reach us. You can also text us at the number that's in the description down below. Whatever's easiest for you, we can help you out with that. Anything else for everybody before we hop off?
No, I think that was good, man. We're just, hey, we're the people that are going to help you through this process. It's a super important that you work with a licensed realtor to help you buy new construction. Even if you think you don't need one, trust me, you're going to be leaving some money on the table, and you might be running into some issues that you don't know how to navigate and get the best solution out of it. We can take all that stress out of your hands.
Yeah, it's so hard to grasp all of these things that we put in this video and put it in a message for somebody that's like, well, what are you going to do for me? It usually starts with when they ask, like, what's the benefit? It's like, okay, well, first, we don't work for a builder, right? Like, we are your buddy. We're the one person when you're crying and you're stressed, and I'm not saying that's going to happen, but when you don't know what to do or the decision to make, like, I'm not going to go to Lennar, like, what should I do? You know, I want to go to, like, my buddy and it's like, bro, what do we do? Like, so to start, that's, you know, that's where we start, and then everything else after that. So I'll tell you what, if you guys made it this far, hit the like button for us. This is a deep video, so hit the like button for us. If you're not subscribed, what the heck are you thinking? We'll catch you on the next one.